Hey there, and welcome to the UkeStuff channel, and welcome to this full UkeGuide review of this instrument. This is the KA-EBY-C striped ebony, although I don't think this one is really that striped ebony laminate concert ukulele. And this one is a friend of mine's that is giving it away to someone and wanted it set up and dealt with. So really, we'll get into that, but it really needs action taken down at the nut, and it has really sharp frets. Could use with a fretboard oiling, bridge oiling. But other than that, it's pretty much ready to go. As an instrument, they have a bag for the person they're giving it to, so happy to do that. And in exchange for setting it up, they are allowing me to review it, so I appreciate that. So this is a laminate ukulele. KA-EBY sells a bunch of these in different variants. A laminate will have a very thin layer of the actual wood in the top, and then potentially other types of wood or the same wood on all the other instruments. We don't really know. We've also had reports that KA-EBY is using laminate fretboards as well. Daniel at Fun Ukulele Projects found that out, that on one of the KA-EBYs that he was working on had a laminated fretboard that you just never would think about, but KA-EBY was doing it and they didn't deny it when he contacted them about it. So that might be true too. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change anything. You're dealing with sort of not really quite entry-level ukulele because it is really decently built. We'll get into that, and it is very attractive. It's not just your standard beginning Macala MAT or your KA KAT, which in my mind had traditionally been a little overpriced for what you're getting compared to other companies. You are getting some nice little upgrades here, both in terms of build quality and overall looks, but still a general laminate sort of intermediate beginning ukulele for a lot of people. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to look at subjective categories, and then we'll take a look at specifications, and then I will summarize it and give it a UkeGuide rating. And I've really struggled for a rating with this one, and I'll talk about it when we get there. So cost, you can buy these new for $179. Sometimes you can find them cheaper than that, and sometimes you can pay a little more and get a kit with it. The only difference between this one and current models is that the current model years will have a strap button as well. In terms of value, KA-EBY sets the value level, so it is at value. I mean, KA-EBY is probably the world's largest distributor and seller of ukuleles, so what price point they sell is really what you determine that middle point. And I think you're getting your money's value here. So I'm not going to say the value exceeds the price because you don't get a kit or anything else, but I think the value meets the price. Now, in terms of build quality, it's very well put together. On the outside, maybe that little crack in the binding there, which isn't a crack, it's just where the binding meets, could be better done. But it has that, not only do you have that beautiful laminate in that sort of satin finish, which looks really nice, or that matte satin finish, and it's, you know, matched in the headstock, and a black sort of stained neck so it doesn't stick out. You also get that sort of tan binding, and then you've got purfling on top of that, so you get you know, black, white, black purfling. You also have that nice rosette there too. It's really attractive and really well done, and we're not even talking about appearance quite yet. Now, one of the things I like to do is take a look at the inside of the ukulele and let you see what's going on in there, so let's go do that. All right, so I have the camera set up. Let's go inside and take a look at what we see. You can see the back bracing there, so you can see the bracing. There is the tail block. Looking in a little closer, little mess here and there, but not bad at all. There is your bridge plate. You can see a little bit of extra glue there, but it's not too bad. And again, we're looking at our notch kerfing, which is really nice. A lot of the new KAT, KA-C, the KA-15s don't even have kerfing in them anymore. So that's kind of nice to see. And, you know, you can just generally see the quality of the laminate. It's a decent quality laminate that you're getting. Who knows what the wood is at that level. There's your brace that runs down the center. Yeah, overall pretty clean build, little glue here and there, but well put together. Now let's take a look at the upper bout. Okay, taking a look at the upper bout, there's your neck block right there. There is your kerfing. There's a horizontal brace. There's more of your kerfing. You know, so yeah, a little glue here and there, but generally very, very nice clean build. Very, very well done. And Kala should be applauded for doing a very nice job on this KA-EBY-C. So yeah, overall, I think it's really nicely done on the inside and the outside. As for appearance, I think I've already said this. I think it's very attractive. They did a very nice job with this. There are several versions of this, though. This one predates the period of time, I believe, where they switched to one of the walnut fretboards for a while, so you can find those out there. And now I think they're back to using rosewood again, and you'd know because you'd have that strap button. So I think you have this version with a rosewood fretboard, you have another version with walnut, and then you have back to rosewood with a strap button. Those would be the three that you'd see out on the market, used or new. In terms of availability, if you want one of these, you can buy one new, or you can even find them used in various places. Now, in terms of playability, here's where really the knocking of the instrument comes, along with the sound quality a little bit. The fret ends are really sharp on this one, and that's one of the things I have to deal with. The action is pretty high at the nut, which makes it really hard to play those first position chords, and you're pulling things a little bit out of tune, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible. Spacing is very typical for a 35mm nut, and the neck profile is really C-shaped, and I wish Kala would change that. You know, it's like holding a baseball bat. So that's one of the things that I wish that they would do with many of the instruments in their line, is just sort of change the taper shape there and ask the companies that are building these for them to do that for them as well. Now, in terms of sound quality, it's kind of generic. It's not bad. And playing it in this particular room where I'm recording, I'm getting a little more sustained than I was when I was playing it earlier tonight, and a little bit better balanced sound. So really, it's balanced. I'd like more bright end. It's definitely more dark than it is bright. It does have low end sustain and pretty good projection. So yeah, I think the sound is okay. I think it's better than average, rethinking it a little bit from what I was originally going to say. And but again, really what you're buying here isn't the sound of the instrument, it's the looks of the instrument. So that's what I would say about this one. That may change a little bit too with better playability. If it's set up, that may change things a little bit for me too. But as it is, I sort of have an idea of where I'm going with it now. So sound is okay. But one of the things I like to do is let you see what I'm hearing with the app Tonal Energy Tuner. So let's do that. I'm going to play the C chord into the app Tonal Energy Tuner and let you see what I'm hearing. So here we go. It's showing a very balanced sound when you strum, but again, that dying off very quickly, and then low end sustain. But it is sustaining longer than Tonal Energy Tuner is picking up, just so you know. All right, now that we've gone through the subjective categories, let's go through the specifications. It is a concert scale instrument. It is actually a scale length of 14.875 inches from nut to saddle, a little shorter than 15. Has 18 frets, 14 to the body, and it does have side position markers. It is a traditional double bout ukulele. The soundboard, back and sides are all that laminate striped ebony. The fretboard is rosewood. The bridge is rosewood. The fretboard is not radiused, and the bridge is a tie bar bridge. The nut and saddle are made out of black new bone, so that kind of blends in with all the dark colors, which is really nice. And the saddle is not compensated. It is a satin finish, very attractive, sort of open pore a little bit. You can see that in the light there. There you can see the open pore satin. It's 24 inches long and weighs 1 pound, 1.1 ounces. It has open geared tuners, and it looks like Rolas tuners. Can't really read it that well, but there's a little marking. It does not say Callas. That I can tell you, but the tuners work just fine. The action at the first fret is 1 millimeter, so it needs to come down quite a bit. And the action at the 12th fret is 2 millimeters. So I've got to be a little careful bringing it down so that it doesn't get so low as to create a buzz elsewhere on the instrument. The nut width is approaching 35 millimeters, 34.57 millimeters, and the space between strings at the first fret is pretty narrow, 8.63 millimeters between each string, which is 28.74 G to A. So if you have large hands, you're not going to like it. If you're used to playing 35 millimeter import ukuleles, you'll be just fine on it. The depth of the neck at the third fret is pretty deep. If you go from the top of the strings to the bottom of the neck, it's 21.97 millimeters. That's pretty thick and chunky, and it is a very C-shaped neck. Now that we've talked about the specifications, let's summarize the instrument. The KA-EBY-C has been on the market for a while, and it remains a very attractive instrument with that laminated striped ebony appearance and its satin finish. It's an upgrade from Kala's, for example, KA-T, which is also a laminate ukulele. It's going to share a lot of the same characteristics. There's nothing really special about the sound, but the sound is better than average, so I'll just say that. The playing experience is hurt by sharp fret ends, a really high setup at the nut, and a very thick C-shaped neck. It is well built. It is well made. There's really nothing to avoid here, and the price isn't terrible. There are several versions of this out there, so you can find this one, you can find one with a walnut fretboard, and then you can find a newer one with a strap button on it. You should be able to find this one used for a discount, or even sometimes new for a discount, or packaged with some accessories. And one of the negative aspects of Kala is that they're still not including accessories with a lot of their ukuleles. And I might try fluorocarbon strings to see if I could bring out more high-end sparkle on it as well, as I do with most ukuleles. But again, I'm a fluorocarbon strings guy, so just keep that in mind. So I give ukuleles a rating between 0 and 5 ukuleles. I think this one is a 4 out of 5, partially because of its looks, and it really gets knocked because of the playing experience issues here, which are not terrible, but it could be better. It could be better. So 4 out of 5 ukuleles. Thanks for joining me for this full UkeGuide review of the Kala KA-EBY-C Laminate Striped Ebony Concert Ukulele. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more Uke stuff for you.